My name is Mr. Whyzguy. We're gonna be watching the former President Donald Trump's CNN town hall with, her on screen. And yeah, that's what we're gonna be doing. And you read the title of this little short clip, so we'll just get right into it.
Selectman from Wyndham. She's a Republican and she voted for you in 2020. Jennifer, what's your question tonight?
Good evening, Mr. President. Title 42 is expected to expire tomorrow. Our southern border and now our northern border are experiencing record migration. We learned on May 2nd that the Biden administration plans on deploying 1,500 troops to the southern border. Do you agree with deploying troops to the border, and how will a Trump administration slow down the rate of migrants coming across all our borders?
Sure.
The same exact way who... What is this? It's actually pretty good. Caramel cookie crunch. The same way he stopped the border, the issues of having the border issues when he was president before. He did a really good job. We need to build a wall.
How dare you?
I dare.
A very fair question, especially since tomorrow is going to be a day of infamy. You're going to have tens of thousands of people pouring into our country. Even the judge, the judge overruled them when they wanted to terminate it early. And he said, that you better extend this thing. The judge in Texas said, I hope you're going to extend this, but this is my policy that they're letting terminate because they lost in court. They wanted to go earlier. You're going to have millions of people pouring into our country right now at a level that nobody's ever seen before. These people are sick. Anybody that wants this to happen to our country, they're destroying our country, and this should not be allowed to happen. How they're not going to do a version of Title 42 or my Title 42, which was tough. If people are sick and have infectious diseases and lots of other problems, we don't want them being into our country. We have enough problems right now. We have problems like we've never had in the history of our country.
But Mr. President,
our country is being destroyed.
The reason it's ending is because the health policy, the COVID era pandemic emergency, is coming to an end. That's what Title 42 was. You put it in place because of COVID.
True, but
when it comes to big questions about what your immigration policy would look like if you are reelected, some of your Republican rivals have criticized you for not.
He would extend the policy. I know my cameras. He would extend the policy. Joe Biden doesn't want to extend it. Actually, Joe Biden was trying to get rid of it early than its expiration date that Trump put in. Trump would just extend it. What's so hard to do that? You guys extend so many things all the time. Don't want to extend this though.
Fulfilling the promises that you made on the campaign trail, like finishing the border wall. So how did voters know that you would get those done if you're reelected?
I did finish the wall. I built a wall. I built hundreds of miles of wall, and I finished it. And then I said,
all right, I'm not gonna... They debunked this on the Timcast IRL thing, so I'm gonna find that.
52 miles of new wall when you were in office, Mr. President. It wasn't the complete wall. One other thing that with
no, but I have to respond to that.
With your immigration, it was only about 52 miles of new wall.
This is what she does. I built hundreds of miles. Some of the wall was up there, and it would be laying on the ground, rusted, rotten steel, rusted, rotten wood, and what the radical left crazy Democrats did, if there's a piece of wood laying down, they consider that a wall. I built 30-foot walls that go down 7 feet into the ground. If there was a little piece of wood sitting in the ground, they said, oh, he's not building a wall. We already had a wall. Because
Exactly. So on technicalities, they count that that garbage pieces of wood that's just sitting on the ground as a wall. And there must have been miles, hundreds of miles of just broken wood on the ground, which I don't doubt because under Joe Biden, we don't really care about border security. Hence Kamala not ever going down to the border. I think maybe she did it already, but that was a whole big thing about her not going down. And literally weeks later, they asked her the same question. She was like, yeah, we'll go down there eventually, or something like that. Or she just laughed it off and pretend that they didn't ask the question with her Hillary Clinton laugh. Kamala Harris, or Kamala. Is that how you say it properly? I forget. But anyways, yeah, it's just he's built so much wall, and then since technically there was already wall like allocated there, their pieces of wood, they didn't count it. They didn't in whatever CNN's documentation of the stats that they're pulling up to feed to this this lady on CNN. She's using the stat of, well, technically there was already wall there, so he didn't build new wall. And Trump's not saying that he's building a new wall. He's telling you that he's built hundreds of miles of wall, whether it's new or refurbished or whatever, it doesn't matter. He built that stuff, or at least he got his campaign to do it. But it seems like, no, technically it wasn't a lot. It was very little because you just all those pieces of wood on the ground. That was a wall that was already there. Like, come on now.
Because this is the game. They're a party of disinformation.
It's not a game.
It is a game. It is a game because you're using your bullshit stats to basically say that, oh, technically he didn't do that. It is a game. It doesn't. We don't care about the technicalities of a piece of wood on the ground. He built all this wall. Get out of here, CNN.
Mr. President, it's about 52 miles of new wall.
Are you kidding
What other
me?
immigration policy?
Also, Caitlin, this woman asked about the troops at the border. Why are you not going back to that?
Why are you
answer the question, and she's not
that
making
was
him answer the
laying
question
down,
either.
that was up and rotting in the ground for 30 years. Some of it was steel that you couldn't even
Mr. President,
see.
it was only about 52 miles of new wall, but moving on, another immigration policy you had was
Moving on, because you know that you're basically just a...
That is one big pile of shit.
Yeah, she's literally just...
That is one big pile of shit.
So get out of here. Okay, so you know what I think is kind of disrespectful? Going to someone, looking at them, looking at their stuff, and then leaving without saying anything. Yeah, that's a little bit disrespectful. So I think you should not do that, and leave a comment down below. Thank you.